Hi guys, welcome back to my XVS guide. Now I'm gonna review Guardian Blade Charlotte. So let's start from her stats. I can say that her stats as an attacker is pretty decent. On normal form, she is a true double hand and she gets plus 100% chain modifier cap, which means you only need one Savior of Soul Lightning STMR. And on Brave Shift form, she becomes true dual wield characters and already gets maximum chain modifier cap. Okay, so they don't cheat her out on Brave Shift form. Okay, pretty nice. And on Brave Shift form, because she is a true dual wield, she can equip both Great Sword and Sword at the same time, which make her have nice attack boost. Okay, 320%, almost max out. Okay, pretty nice for offensive. And for defensive, she is also quite decent because she gets that fatal damage protection. So she is hard to die. And yes, the only thing I want to complain is she only have one killer. But again, even it's only one, it is pretty decent. Okay, 200% undead killer. Okay, so that's all for the stats. Okay, now let's talk about the normal form. So on normal form, she is a finisher and a support. As a finisher, I can say she is pretty decent, but don't get your hope that she is the best damage dealer out there, because first, she only get double cast on this form, which means her damage kind of limited. And like you can see that her damage modifier per cast is not bad, okay? She can deal 190 to 210 times ice damage per cast, which means yes, she can deal like 450 times ice damage. Okay, those are a nice number, but again, if you compare her to, let's say, Noctis jump can deal like 1800. And yes, maybe it's not fair because Noctis is a jumper. Okay, if you compare her to our recent global exclusive character, White Dragon Link, Guardian Blade Charlotte still inferior, because White Dragon Link can deal like 810 times damage. Okay, but for Charlotte, she only able to deal like 450 times max, so about half of the damage that White Dragon Link can do. But again, to be fair, remember that this Charlotte Ice finisher is AoE attack, okay, 210 times. It is nice if you fight against multiple enemies. Remember, Noctis also single target, okay, so if you need AoE finisher, I can say Charlotte may be one of the best we have right now for AoE. But again, the problem is her finishing moves are locked to ice element. Okay, this is really annoying, guys. Okay, why they lock it? But again, maybe on normal form it is not that big deal because she is a true double hand. So the good side, the bright side is you don't need to imbue or do anything. But the best feature of this normal form is her grandest ability. She can give your party 80% damage mitigation. So this skill is the thing that makes her precious on your party. Okay, like you know that spammable damage mitigation are kind of meta on today's standard. Okay, what we have right now is Beatrix and Elric Brothers, but Elric Brothers is limited, so they are out of equation. So yes, I know I say spammable, but this grandest ability can only be used 4 times. But again, 4 times are a lot. Okay, so yes, I can say great finisher and great support. But make sure you're able to end the battle before you run out of Charlotte grandest ability. Okay, so that's for the normal form. Now let's talk about the Brave Shift form. So her Brave Shift form is totally bad. First of all, she becomes a chainer on this form, and she loses her ability to cast that precious 80% damage mitigation. So like you can see that the damage modifier from her chaining abilities are mediocre. The numbers, okay, the average number, I can say 72 times, but she only get like 66, 55, so crap, okay, really bad. Okay, that's for her chaining moves. Not only that, remember they are locked to certain element. Okay, and talking about locked to certain element, it is strange because her grandest and limit burst on Brave Shift are non-elemental attack, which means you gonna equip elemental weapon or need to have someone imbue element to you. So why in the first place they give us lock element on chaining moves? So wow, it's kinda annoying, I can say. Not only that, her grandest ability able to imperil ice, lightning, wind resist by 120%, and 120% are the same number you get from your single elemental imperil from your abilities. So again, what's wrong? Okay, what's wrong with this form? I can say that this form is kind of bad, and maybe you say, oh, I simply gonna build her limit burst damage, so her limit burst gonna deal awesome damage. Sure, but remember her Brave Shield limit burst is not a finisher. It is 24 hits attack, and I have tried to chain it with triple mirror of equity and it fails, which means you need to have duplicate to max the damage. And like you know that Charlotte is not the character you want to have. Yeah, you don't want to have two Guardian Blade Charlotte on your party because first, she's a finisher, and yes, unless you need to cast 8 times of 80% damage mitigation, then yeah, the point here is the Brave Shift limit burst is bad. Okay, so that's all for the Brave Shift form. Now let's talk about equipment. So her equipment is pretty simple. On normal form, what you need is one Savior of Soul Lightning STMR, and you manage to max the chain modifier cap. After that, simply max 3 double hand and attack stats. You are good to go. And on Brave Shift, I can say it's real easy to gear her because she already get 320% attack boost. Combined with Vision card, I can say it's pretty easy to max her attack stats. But the problem is, yes, her Brave Shift form bad. Is bad. Okay, so even if you add let's say a limit burst damage boost on Brave Shift, then you still need to duplicate. Okay, so yeah, basically her Brave Shift form is bad. So that's for equipment. My conclusion for Guardian Blade Charlotte. So Guardian Blade Charlotte greatest asset is her normal form grandest ability. Period. Okay, you can use 4 times of 80% damage mitigation for your party, and that's insane and very useful. The second thing is her Trust Master reward. I can say that it is pretty decent Trust Master reward. You can use it on many characters, 50% attack, spirit, limit burst damage. Who doesn't need that on today? Okay, almost all characters need this Trust Master reward. Okay, very nice. But now, what's bad about her? Yes, I only like 2 things about her. Okay, her STMR is 2-handed greatsword. Don't get me wrong, it is superb for her because she gets additional 700 attack and spirit boost. But for other characters, this is crap. This is basically just your average true double hand greatsword. Sure, it has nice attack, and also gives you 50% through double hand. Useful, I can say, but it is not something I will recommend you to chase for, unless of course, basically this blade is made for Guardian Blade Charlotte, not for other characters. Okay, but talking about her again, this STMR is but useless on her Brave Shift form, because remember, she is a true dual wield on her Brave Shift form. If you force her into true double hand characters, then good luck, because you need more chain modifier cap. Okay, good luck. And yes, she able to deal damage, but you have seen that her damage is not her strongest point. Sure, it is nice, but yeah, it's locked to ice element. And why I say ice element? Because I can say that the only reliable damage is her finishing attack. Her Brave Shift form, just forget it. It's really meh. Okay, lock element, low damage modifier, so pretty underwhelming. Basically, her Brave Shift form, I don't like it at all. So I can say that this Guardian Blade Charlotte is resemble to Elric Brothers. Okay, Elric Brothers also able to deal damage and also give you nice mitigation. Okay, but the good things about Elric Brothers is they have lots of nice supporting abilities. But for this Charlotte, only 80% damage mitigation. Don't get me wrong, 80% damage mitigation is pretty good, but what I want to say is, if you already have Elric Brothers, then maybe you don't need to try to get this one. Okay, maybe Elric Brothers is inferior in quote in terms of damage and simplicity, okay, because sure, Elric Brothers able to tech chain, but still you need to build their damage. And yeah, after looking that, it's more easier to build Charlotte damage compared to Elric Brothers. I talk about damage modifier, okay, because Elric Brothers only get like 100% limit burst damage passive, and their limit burst damage buff also quite hard to cast, I can say. Locked to their Grandest ability, 200% limit burst damage. So I can say Charlotte is a little bit better in terms of finisher. But again, Elric Brothers can also deal nice damage on their Brave Shift form, because their Brave Shift limit burst have higher base damage. Okay? So yes, if you already have Elric Brothers, I really against you to try to get Guardian Blade Charlotte. If you don't have Elric Brothers, then it's maybe tempting to get her because of that 80%. Not for the damage. The damage is just nice extra things, not her main feature. And for another thing I like about her is the fusion card. It's pretty decent fusion card. If you get it, it works for your most of your mage and physical DPS. Okay, really nice. It is the same card that you get from Emperor Vlad. Okay, so sure, I kinda annoying because the fusion card is the same, but at least the effects are nice. It's not stupid like dagger attack boost on Fifi. Okay, yes, that's all I can say about Guardian Blade Charlotte. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Private CS guide. Bye bye guys.